Ladies and gentlemen, F1 My Team has arrived. F1 25 is launched via the Iconic Edition. We're currently playing this on the 3-day advanced early access version. So we can start our My Team journey right here, right now. Chesnoid Racing is reborn. You are no longer the owner driver of the team. You create the team, you manage the team, and you hire 2 drivers and drive as either of them throughout the course of your journey. All of the various different new aspects we'll get to as we go through, rather than me just give you an info dump at the beginning. So please do drop the video a like if you're looking forward to this F1 25 My Team career. Do make sure you're subscribed to this ChesnoidPlays YouTube channel. Very much going to get this to you as regularly as possible. Hopefully should have 5 videos to you every single week, every single weekday. And if you want to see everything recorded live, see every lap of every session, then do come and join me on stream on youtube.com/Chesnoid Gaming, which is the main YouTube channel for the FC content, or of course the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Chesnoid Gaming as well. So, full season. You know how we do things here if you've not been with me before. We do 100% race distance stuff. I've got all of my assists, etc. set up in the background, so I'll quickly scroll through them here so you can see how I am making my save. Full session, full session, full session. 100% race distance, thank you. Forecast accuracy is approximate to add a little bit of jeopardy in. Driver moves will put on increased. You can now toggle how much the AI drivers move. Everything else will leave as relatively default for now. Fault frequency will put on standard and set to standard, so we won't have mechanical failures that result in DNFs, but we will have technical failures that might result in our battery not working or our DRS not working briefly before the team can fix it either with a remote fix or a pit stop. Rules and flags are on. Like I said, I don't want to info dump you too much. I have set red flags to increased, so we'll see how that works. And if we need to lower it, then we will. If we need to up safety car to increased, then we will do so, but we'll leave that on standard for now. I am a dirty noob that uses rewinds. I'm sorry if you don't like it. Tough tartars. We do flashback. I try and do it as little as possible, but we will occasionally use a flashback. And we do have simulation damage on. So stay out of the walls, Chesnoid. Stay out of the walls. You could start as Connor Sport as the 11th team on the grid. The, of course, fictional team from the Breaking Point story mode. You can even start as Brad Bleeding Pitt with the Apex GP team, which is, of course, from the F1 movie that comes out next month as this is being recorded. But we will be starting as a brand new fictional My Team, which is me. I'm going to choose my driver icons. You can have either all the official drivers only, have all the driver icons, or only some of the driver icons. I'm going to have they get recruited sometimes by the AI teams. I don't want an influx of icon drivers. I just like the occasional smattering, so it feels more momentous. It's more of a thing. We're not going to have the Connor Sport drivers in. We're not going to have the Apex GP drivers in. But we are going to have the F1 icons, the F3 icons that are part of the Icon Edition, but we're not going to have the F1 esports drivers in this save, I'm afraid. So Brandon, David, Jarno, and Lucas. Now we can confirm those settings. We don't want any tutorials, thank you. I'd like to think I know what I'm doing by now. And welcome to our headquarters. We'll have the opportunity to customize how I look. We'll have the opportunity to customize the badge of the team, the overalls of the team, everything about the car, from the way it looks to the way it sounds with the different engines to the sponsors that will put on the car and will give us the funding to help us drive from what is going to be the worst car on the grid to, fingers crossed, the best car on the grid. And how long that takes, we shall have to wait and see. But I'm going to create my guy in the background here. Chris Wood is me. And then we can create things as we go through. Owner avatar, I already know which avatar I would like. It's this guy. I'm going to whack him on. And then we can advance to the next stage. My guy is going to stroll into the new headquarters, which look like this. Background-wise, we can choose my professional background, a people manager, a head engineer, or a chief financial officer. I'm going to be more of a people manager, more of a people person. I'm not very engineer-focused, and I'm not great with money either, but I'm quite friendly. We're going to go with basic in terms of our starting facility investment. We want to really start at the bottom and have a proper road to glory style save. We could start with some development on the car or extensive development on the car to make us start further up the grid. We want the challenge of starting at the back. I could start with no money, some money, or quite a bit of money and quite a bit of a boost. It's a road to glory. We're starting with nothing. Chesnoid Racing F1 is the team name. Team colours are going to be the yellow and white and black. I mean, everything is Cambridge United themed, let's be honest. I'm Cambridge United, aren't I? So we're going to basically just replicate the badge that you see, or did see behind for the team. So we're going to do that. Going to actually make that one. Going to make this, that one too. And then emblem-wise, just going to change the colours to actually black and white for here. Black on top, sorry, black underneath and white on top. And that is going to be our team crest. In terms of teamwear colours, they're just going to be as you see them. And that is our team created. Corporate-wise, now we need to pick our sponsors. So who's going to give us the most amount of money? And who do we feel like we stand the best chance of achieving the season goal with? I don't know, as we'll get 10 constructors points. I don't know as we'll finish 10th in the championship or not. So I'm going to go conservative for our first year as the worst car on the grid and go with Seren. And to be fair, over the course of 52 weeks, that extra 15 or 45,000 pounds really going to add up. So we're going to go with Seren as our first title sponsor. Our powertrain, what's going to drive the car? We're going to be a Mercedes partner. That one is pretty straightforward. I don't want to be with the Renault engine. It just would be too bad. You'd say Victor Martins is a go-to because he's 67 rated. His racecraft's very good. His pace is decent. His focus is very good. I think Victor Martins is probably a no-brainer. He will be my first driver. My second driver, I really am not sure. I need to prioritise one driver to make the most of the championship. But who that driver is probably going to be my first driver that we've just selected. Dirksen has less experience and worse racecraft, but he's inherently, naturally quicker with the pace. I'm going to go Zane Maloney. The higher racecraft is going to make a big difference, I think. So that is our sponsor. That's our engine. They're my drivers. Victor Martins is my number one. Zane Maloney is my number two. Confirm. Race gear. I'm actually quite happy with the way that the drivers look at the minute. I am going to go with this Lewis Hamilton-based livery for Season 1. You guys will have the opportunity throughout the course of this save to pick liveries for me. Special one-off liveries for individual Grand Prix, Drivers' Home Grand Prix, Team Home Grand Prix, Iconic Grand Prix like Monaco, etc. You are going to be able to submit via social media liveries for me to replicate in-game to use in the save. So do make sure you're following me on Twitter or X, and you can get involved in that. Suit-wise, we're going to do the same. We're going to go with the Lewis Hamilton one because it suits the livery. And glove-wise, we're going to go with the Lewis Hamilton one because it suits the livery and the theme of the team, which I very much like. So that kind of makes things on that side of things very straightforward for Season 1. But obviously, Season 2 and beyond, we will be doing a lot more in terms of livery design. So,
hello,
time to introduce the new team to the world.
Live stream. Great to be with you all because today we're going to witness history.
That's absolutely right, Natalie, because for so many years we've wondered exactly what 11 teams would look like on the grid. Guess what? Today is the day we find out.
And we are here
Thanks
at
to
the
me.
team's state-of-the-art HQ. We'll be seeing their brand new car very soon, but behind every team, behind every car, there's one person central to it all.
Yes, and they're a really popular character up and down the paddock.
See?
With great energy and years of experience in
I
managing
imagine
people to success.
that is
The
based
question
on
is, how will they balance that
my
arm around
background,
the shoulder approach,
the people
all whilst
person.
having to deliver performance on track?
And we'll be seeing more behind the scenes as the season progresses. But of course, it is all about what happens on track. So, without further ado, let's see the fruits of their labour, the brand new 2025 car.
We will be putting, of course, when we get the opportunity to, stickers on the car, decals on the car, based on the sponsors that we accrue throughout the course of the save. And with the new decal editor, we can make each and every car look very, very unique indeed. More so than ever before in any F1 My Team, we can really make the cars look genuinely like the real life F1 cars in terms of the decals, which has not previously been the case.
Well, thank you all for joining us.
And you guys can
have done
influence
an
that, of
incredible
course,
job. The car looks sensational.
yourselves.
It certainly does. Congratulations and all the very best for the season ahead.
We're probably going to need it, Pinks. Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Chesnoid Racing is reborn. So this looks entirely different, doesn't it? Not used to seeing all this sort of stuff. You've got an activities list, your team owner menu, where you can see all of the things related to you as the individual. I've got some messages here from my staff. Car development status critical. You're not wrong. And then you've got your engineering department, you've got your personnel department, and you have your corporate department, all of which manage different aspects of the team. Obviously, they kind of go hand in hand with what you would imagine that they do. Corporate-wise, you are going to have to keep in mind now that you are meeting the cost cap. New for this year, you do have to stay below the cost cap. If you breach it, I actually genuinely don't know what happens. I'd rather not find out. So we'll be trying our best to stay below the cost cap, but you can see what our finances look like currently there in the background. We do have £4.35 million in the bank. That will hopefully build over time. Personnel-wise, you go into the driver menu, you can actually speak to other drivers externally when the contract window opens, but do be careful because you can piss off your current drivers, which is not a good thing to do. There is workforce as well throughout each department, and we will be hiring as time goes by. The more people you hire, the better your departments work. That goes hand in hand without saying too much, obviously. We do start with 1,000 resource points. We can start to upgrade the car, but first you have to research a part before you can make it. You don't just hit the one button and get it immediately. You have to research the part. Then once it's been researched by your technicians, they then move over to the development team that build, the manufacturing team build that part. So it's a two-part phase now. We will start with the front wing aerodynamics. That will be done in 11 days, and it should hopefully maybe be on the car before Australia. We could do the plank as well on the chassis side to do the weight reduction. I'm not going to need much on the powertrain side. Mercedes have already increased the turbo power, and durability is not necessarily something I'm going to put much interest in at the moment. So we're going to concentrate on the weight reduction. The lighter the car, the better the car. And the better distributed the weight is, the lower the centre of gravity, the better the car. So they are going to be two very important parts for us, as of course improving the dynamics of the car will be as well. See that things are in progress now with regards the front wing and the chassis in terms of research. And you can see on the right hand side where we stack up on the performance index with everybody else. McLaren are at the top, just underneath my face cam. Then you've got Red Bull there, as you can see. Ferrari are currently the third fastest, Mercedes fourth, and then Aston Martin, Haas, Williams, VCarb, Alpine and Sauber. Barely anything to pick between the few of them. The midfield is going to be very, very, very tightly knit. So once that's been researched, we can go into the development and we can build it. And then once it's built, we can assign it to a car, one car at a time, because we don't yet have the capability to build multiple parts at once. That will come as the team grows. So without any further ado, let's just start moving through, shall we? And we can get rid of all these message notifications. I don't think there's anything really that needs to be dwelled on here. Everything kind of goes hand in hand with what you expect it to look like. So I can train my owner to make me better. Obviously, everything like that is locked at the moment. But as we progress, things will indeed unlock as we go along, including, of course, improving the car as we progress. So this is going to be a bumper first episode. We will... Whoa, I can't believe it!
Open talks with drivers.
I don't want to open talks with drivers at the moment. Thank you very much. We're going to dismiss that for now. Can you believe it? My first part that I've researched has failed. Absolutely typical. Start as we mean to go on. It failed. So it's going to take a little bit longer to do, which is fine. We shall deal with it as it comes. But will the plank pass? Yes! Research completed on the plank, so we can start to
Great news.
build the team.
Our research upgrades
There
is
you
complete.
go. So let's research part. We've researched 2. we can add one onto the car, single development, so only one of the cars will have it on. Unfortunately, it's not going to be ready before the Australian Grand Prix, but we will develop that in 12 days' time. It's taken some money out of our bank balance. You can't quite see the bank balance in these general screens here because my camera is in the way, but this is going to be the best place for the camera to be in terms of its positioning for everything else involved in the game. So I can give you my update with regards to my finances by just dipping into this menu here, and you can currently see the team balance on the left-hand side there. So we'll do that on occasion, but ultimately how much money I have isn't necessarily that important at this stage because we're only starting out and everything's going to be relatively cheap. Time, though, to go to the grid reveal. Of course, everyone checking out their new cars here. You can see our guys in their overalls. Yuki's taller than he should be. Every driver is the same height for this as it was last year as well. So Yuki is the same height as Max Verstappen. Jack Doohan starting in an Alpine. I don't know how quickly that will change in terms of an update with the game, but for the time being, Jack Doohan is starting in the Alpine. But we look good. Nowhere near the front at the moment, back left for us, but it won't be long before we're hopefully starting to work our way through the midfield towards the points scoring positions. We're not going to be challenging for a world title for years, but that's the plan. That's what we want. We love the grind. So the front wing adjuster bracket has now completed its research.
We have something for you to look at, please.
Yes, you do indeed. I'm going to start building that. So we can now build the front wing adjuster bracket, and that will be done before, provided it doesn't break, will be done before the Chinese Grand Prix, which is of course the second race of the season. I can do both, so I will indeed upgrade both. So we should be able to have two of those available for the car by China. Research wise, I can probably spend a bit more now. Got 507 resource points, so I'm going to do the weight reduction. That's going to be important. That's going to take a while to come though, so that won't quite be with us in time for China in round 2 either. There is an engineering facility event though. This facility has requested your attendance at today's meeting to help resolve an issue. What issue is there in the engineering facility? That's what we need to know. Both of your drivers have requested extra simulator time this week, but our schedule is fully booked. With only one slot available, we need to decide which driver should take the priority. Well, we did say that Victor Martins was going to be the #1 driver. We were going to prioritise one driver over another, and Martins was that driver, so Martins can get the extra simulator time. My guy was telling me there's things to equip, and there's not. So we're just going to go straight to the race weekend then. I'm not going to upgrade any of my facilities yet. I want to see what our financial situation looks like after a full race weekend, so I don't end up spending money that I could really do with spending elsewhere before we know exactly how our financial situation is going to develop between race weekends. So there are no activities at the moment. We do need to go and adjust the livery on the car and put the stickers on, which we will do so in due course. Go and customise the car, and then we can go racing. Full disclosure, we are changing the livery of the car. It turns out that the livery that we were using isn't able to be changed with decal editors. So the car livery is not compatible with sponsor decals. So I cannot put any stickers on the car. So the car would look like that all season long. Not how we want to go racing. We want to have the full customization. So we will be switching to this livery, which we're now going to tweak. And then we can add the sponsor decals to the car as we so wish throughout the course of the season. So we'll get a cut here and we'll show you what the car looks like as we're going to head to Australia. Apologies for that. Something I wasn't aware of when heading in. So something you guys will be aware of when heading into your own saves now, so you know not to make the same mistake as me. So we have updated the way that the car looks. We've got sponsors on it now, and we've got a full set of race kit too. So we're very much looking forward to getting that on track, which is exactly what we're going to do now. Let's go to Albert Park and pray that it's dry. I'm going to drive this first round as my #1 driver, Victor Martins, and hope that we can get a decent result. But we have to remember we are in the worst car, and it's the worst car by a margin. Praise the Lord, 'tis dry in Australia. No upgrades for this weekend, but that's fine. Oh, I'm so happy about that. I did not want to start in the wet like they did in real life. We are on 100 difficulty at present, but that's after not racing any AI at all on this game thus far. So we will see how we do on 100 and we'll take it from there. We were previously racing at 104 on F1 24. So when the opportunity arises itself, when it feels natural to up the difficulty again, there's no point in having the difficulty so high that I'm just doing the whole Grand Prix at the back on my own. That's boring for everyone involved. But hopefully we'll find the right spot over the first couple of race weekends and we can have a very entertaining, very fun series lying ahead of us. But I am going to go and put my car on track for the very first time. Practice completed, resource points acquired, 861 of them, which is excellent. I imagine that the way resource points accrue and the way you spend them will be slightly different this year with the fact you're having to research and develop different parts at different times for 2 drivers. So we'll wait and see how that stands. Although, in fact, I should probably have access to all of the parts, shouldn't I? So all of the resource points. Previously, you only had access to your, as the driver, resource points, and your teammate had their own resource points. But now, I'm going to have resource points for both drivers. So it's going to look like we've got inflated resource points, when actually it's probably the same, but you're just dealing with 2 drivers' resource points rather than just the one as you were previously in my team. We felt a little quick compared to the AI in practice. We'll see what qualifying looks like. If we look like we're really quick in qualifying as well, then obviously we will adjust the difficulty accordingly.
And a warm welcome,
that looks
everybody.
great, though. Obviously,
Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's
the older gen consoles have been dropped for this iteration of the game. So it's only PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X and PC, and you can tell visually the game looks a real significant step up in a lot of different areas. Now, first things first, I'm going to wait and see what laps others do first before we figure out what we're going to do difficulty-wise. Let's go out and see what lap time we do. If we make it through Q1, we can always kind of artificially maneuver the fact that we then finish like 15th in qualifying in Q2. So qualifying lap in Q1 is going to be too fast, we believe, at present. So we are going to be upping the difficulty. Or is it 120 point... I don't know. I mean... We are, in theory, the worst car on the grid. I'm trying to think long-term here about what is and isn't going to give us the longest journey to becoming one of the better sides. Kimi Antonelli, Lance Stroll, Jack Doohan well off the pace. Then there's only 2 tenths between me and my teammate. Zane Maloney's actually had a decent lap there, but on 1.7 seconds off the front. 1.7 seconds off Oscar Piastri. I wonder whether it's actually not that bad. Cross the line in a 1:19.3 at the end of the session, which puts us 11th. I think we're a little bit too quick. Although I have seen reports of people saying they were competitive in quali, but then in the race they were nowhere. So I'm slightly apprehensive about tweaking it too much. My teammate goes out. He didn't improve on his 120.2 at the beginning of the session. Antonelli qualifies 21st of 22 in his first qualifying session. So I think what I'll do is I'm only 2 tenths off Charles in a Ferrari. Look. I will not set a lap time in Q2. We will start 16th and we'll up the difficulty from 100 to 102. So at the end of Q2, we didn't set a lap time. And are there any shock exclusions there? Not really. Both V-carbs. Fernando Alonso perhaps is a shock retirement there. I think, to be honest, I think Nico Hulkenberg being as high as he is a bit of a shock as well. Although that's 2 seconds off the pace. 2 seconds off the pace in P11. And then it's almost like those guys haven't improved at the end of qualifying, and the others are just lightning fast. There is a long way to go to the front of the grid, I think. A considerably long way to go. So we will up the difficulty from 100 to 101 or 102, and then we'll do the race. But these first couple of races, as is the case every year with every new game, when things have been tweaked, it's a balancing act. I'm not fast enough to just whack it on 110 and not worry about anything else, like some of the other content creators. So I need to find my realistic middle ground, and it's going to take us a couple of races to find that realistic middle ground, but we'll up it to 102 for the race. We'll be starting P16. Let's go and figure out our strategy.
Fantastic qualifying session. It's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race.
So who got pole
Max
then?
Verstappen
Max
put in a
Verstappen
fantastic
with a
lap yesterday, and he'll start from
17.6
pole
is lightning
position.
fast.
And
Lando
Lando
second with a
Norris lines up alongside.
17.7,
Looking
not
down the rest of
far
the
behind
grid,
at all,
we have
just half a tenth.
Piastri,
And it's the other
Leclerc,
McLaren of Piastri,
and
3
Sir
tenths
Lewis
back.
Hamilton.
Sir Lewis Hamilton, hello, Sir Lewis Hamilton. Russell only P7. Ocon in the Haas has done very well there. Wow, with my voice there, I had a little bit of a struggle.
Isaac Hadjar
We will be
and
starting
Lawson.
P16. Victor Martins. Martins. Victor
and Rolly
Martins.
Bearman.
Get my pronunciation
Maloney,
correct. I apologise. Zach
Stroll,
Maloney in P19,
Antonelli,
not
and
qualifying
Jack
at the
Doohan
back in his
rounds
new
off the
team,
grid.
so we'll take that.
With lights out,
Sure,
just
Kimi will
moments
improve when they
away, and
update
joining me in the commentary-
his driver stats. He will not be that slow the whole time at all.
Okay, mate, try your best. And with a bit of luck, we might just get that points finish.
I don't know about a points finish. It reckons that my tyre wear's significantly high enough that I'm going to have to go medium hard here. Everyone else is... Oh, there's a lot of hard runners. A couple of soft runners in front of us. My teammate's starting on a medium. The hard tyre does seem to be the tyre of choice for a number of drivers here. I think medium hard is probably the way forward. And if we find that tyre wear is okay, then we will try and extend both medium. We'll try and extend both medium stints, but it looks like that's probably going to be about where we are with tyre wear. I'm apprehensive about having only a lap's worth of extra fuel in, considering how thirsty we think the car is. So I'm going to put... Although we're probably going to get lapped, aren't we? I'll put a lap and a half's worth of extra fuel in and hope that A, it's enough, and B, we're probably going to get lapped, so it should definitely make it enough. But as ever, at the start of a brand new season, as is the case in real life, everything is a complete unknown. I like the fact that they have tweaked the formation lap so they don't just split into side by side half a mile before the end of the formation lap. That's a nice retweak.
Incredible
Right,
parking there, nice one. That's going to give you the edge.
Here goes
You can get good
nothing.
launch as the race starts.
I'll try and get a decent launch as the race starts. I've no idea how this is going to go. Let's find out. It's an excellent start over Liam Lawson. Bortoletto's had a leap as well. I've got a car on the outside of me, a car on the inside of me. We're going to be 3 wide into turn 1. I'm worried about the RB. We're all going very slowly. Albon sneaks past, and we're off. Poor Liam Lawson did not put his car in a very good position there. Going to be able to hopefully hold the position around the outside as Lawson risks contact and then does give the position up in the end. So still running P16 after starting P16. We're at 102 difficulty. So we'll see how this transpires throughout the course of the main Grand Prix. Whether we are or are not competitive, the car feels completely different to it did in quali, because we've now got 59.5 laps worth of fuel on board. So we're going to have to adjust for that. Obviously, it's quite literally been a few weeks or more since we last played F1. So I'm going to have to get myself up to speed as well. But we're all right. We're all right. As we say thank you to Matthew for subscribing for the 55th month total on the Twitch channel. That was close into the back of Albon, but we avoided an accident. Plus those around us on hard tyres as well, other than Albon, who's also on the medium. So he's going to want to be making some moves in these early stages, as are we. The front two are gone. Lando and Max have disappeared already, opened up a big gap. We're just holding position for the time being. We've not really any idea whether we're going to be competitive and we might stand a chance of moving forward from here, or...
Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past.
Yeah, dirty air is more of a thing this year. They've put more of an emphasis on dirty air this year. The front left tyre is at 3% wear already. Because we haven't had the chance to move the OSD yet, you'll have to just take my word for it for things like tyre wear, because you can't quite see underneath my face cam as it stands. But Gasly's holding everybody up here. But I will keep you up to date with all the important information as the race progresses, and then for the next episode onwards, we'll have everything where we want it, on-screen display-wise. With a DRS train behind a Haas at the moment. Did see that Esteban Ocon qualified very high up. Wary about the RB in my mirror at the minute. Ocon did qualify very high up, and he is now creating quite a train here. A Ferrari has just gotten past him, so the train might start to ease. Drivers making moves in front, having a look at Alex Albon, but not really out of design. More from the fact that everybody backed up a bit more so than we thought they would do there. And they got a bit deep in the braking zone. Bortoletto's past Gasly. Yellow flags. What are the yellow flags for? It's for Carlos Sainz, whose engine has gone bang. That's a free position. Thank you, Carlos. The Williams' Mercedes engine has not lasted more than 4 complete laps of the Australian Grand Prix. Our first retirement of the year is the Williams. At the same time, the RB isn't all over the back of me for the majority of the lap, although he is going to have a look at the inside of me here.
Okay,
more yellow flags in front.
Away, you know what to do.
That's Carlos. It's just yellow flags for Carlos Sainz. Ignore. I thought his car would have been removed by now. Lawson's having a look at the back of me. Having to go a bit defensive here to hold on to P15 right now, meaning that those in front are starting to get away a little bit. We are out of DRS range now. We have to try and close that back in. Otherwise, we're going to be very vulnerable. I might get overtaken sooner rather than later. Hopefully, they'll still concertina up through the turn at the end of the DRS zone, but with DRS, Lawson is just too quick for me here. I should have net DRS now, or has he got it again? He's got it again, a double dose for him. We'll stay in his slipstream though. We have concertinaed up a little bit, but now we're trying to hang on to the back of Lawson to take us further forwards towards the group in front again. It wasn't really a mistake that was made that lost us the time. It was Lawson putting me under pressure, me then having to go defensive to keep my position. That meant that he just drifted past me, and we lost the DRS to those in front. And we got Ollie Behrman getting interested, but we're all right for now. Christ, have I got no damage for that on simulation? The fuck? I mean, I'll take it, but Jesus wept. That needs a tweak. Now the Haas is having a look. He backed out of it. Ollie Behrman not got the minerals to throw that up the inside there, it seems. As long as we maintain DRS on Lawson, I'm happy enough for the time being still at this stage. Not sure how strategy is going to pan out for us. And there are going to be some double stacking teams in front of us when the pit stops arrive, but I need to do the old Rihanna bit and shut up and drive, because I've dropped out of DRS range Lawson now. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to go and try and get back within that. Right, dropped out of DRS range of Lawson by about half a tenth, unfortunately. In that last section, Kimi's having a look as well here, but Behrman is through. My teammate is at the back. I'm going to have to go defensive here against Kimi as well. My teammate is at the back and disconnected from this train, so the car is performing as it probably should do for him. I am starting to suffer with tyre wear, as you might well be able to tell there. 16% front left, 18% rear left. And we're not planning on boxing for another 9 laps. We're going to have to undercut, and I'm going to have to put the hard tyre on in the second stint, because at the minute I've not got the pace on these worn mediums to combat the hard tyre drivers. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section what you think of the difficulty, and in live chat too, if you think we're about right, if you think I'm too fast still, if you think I'm too slow. I'm going to take everything on board, and we'll obviously adjust over time as we go. We will be recording a lot of content at launch, so do forgive if it takes a little while to catch up on your feedback in video content. At the minute, it does certainly seem to be that in qualifying the AI are slow, and in the race they are quick for the difficulty level. Because I found at 100, I found no issue whatsoever to qualify B11 in Q1. And in the race at 102, I am just starting to fall backwards. So I wonder whether we'll end up qualifying at 102 and racing at 100 and doing it the other way around. As ever, it is all in flux and all an open conversation in these early stages of a new game cycle. Big lock up in front. See the smoke. Another lock up there too. Bortoletto in the Sauber in the pits off his soft tyres after 12 laps. I'm probably going to box after 16 rather than 18 to move to the hard tyre. 25% left, 26% left rear. At the moment, tyre wear-wise, we're definitely struggling. But we're not actually dropping massively further behind at the minute. The gap has kind of eased a little bit as there's a bit of traffic up ahead and the train is all squabbling with one another. Behind Fernando Alonso at the minute, it seems. I'd be intrigued to know what Bortoletto's gone to tyre-wise. You can see from the Delta just how much faster they are than me down the straight. I'm just losing tenths at a time. I am going to switch and do the hard tyre next. And hope that it takes me far enough. Just because we've got the hard tyre to go to doesn't mean I'm actually going to be able to make those last any longer than the mediums either. See, tyre wear is going to be an issue for us in the first few races, or maybe even first season or so, with the car being the worst on the grid by a margin. Evidently with DRS and ERS to burn, these guys are much quicker than us in a straight line as well at the moment. There is a lot of work to be done in improving the car. I haven't gone too defensive through any of that to try and hold off Doohan there. But the gap in front has grown again by another half a second or more. Definitely struggling now, more so than ever before with the tyres. We're at 29% front left, 31% rear left, and you can see again just the speed differential between ourselves and those that have the DRS down here. I am starting to fight for my position now, whilst trying not to lose too much time to those in front. Otherwise there's no point running a different strategy if they're just going to be gone regardless. Presumably fresh tyres. We are boxing. The car in front is also in this lap. Here we go then. Doohan in off his hard tyres, which is an early stop from the hard set. Right, good pit stop, please, gents. Our front right is super slow coming off.
Right front wheel. I know it's not ideal, but let's try and put it behind us now and get back into this race.
I had enough of that in last year's iteration of the game. I would very much like to not have terrible pit crew every single race. We should be able to do something about that this year in my team. But Doohan has gone hard medium now, and we've gone medium hard. It says I could take these to the end. I wholeheartedly disagree. We will be looking to take these tyres to about lap 40. Stroll's in the box now. See if the undercut has worked for us here. Behrman's in as well. They're coming out of the pits there, that's Stroll.
Piastri is in the pits.
Piastri is not in the pits. Shut up. Round the outside of Lance Stroll. So we're now not last. Although probably soon to be last again. I think we'll qualify at 102 and race at 101 in China next time out for the next round of the championship and see what our competitiveness is like in the race there. China is traditionally one of my stronger circuits, and last year on F1 24 it was a significantly stronger circuit for me. We challenged even in season 1 for significantly good points. Massively gaining on our teammate here on those really worn mediums. I wonder whether he's one-stopping actually, Maloney, by the looks of things. He's now the next car down the road from Lance Stroll. I'll try and hang on to Stroll if I can. Maloney's now in.
Zane's in the pits.
Struggling,
Zane's in the pits.
Struggling with having any sort of battery competitiveness at all is really causing all sorts of issues here and trying to be competitive in a straight line. The fact that the battery doesn't maintain much charge at all, or it doesn't harvest much charge at all because we are in, at the minute, a non-upgraded car, is making a big impact. So despite the chassis and the aero not being that good as well, we are going to put a significant amount of resource into improving the ERS, because that is probably a shorter route to becoming a little bit more competitive than improving the chassis or the aero side of things is. We'll look to improve the durability of the ERS, its capability to harvest and maintain battery percentage, and that should make us a bit more competitive as well. But my teammate is absolutely finishing this race dead bloody last, if of course he finishes the race at all. They've gone hard as well. They have. We took the balanced set of tyres here, and I wonder whether we should maybe have taken the harder allocation, because we only have one set of hards available to us, and there's a lot of hard runners here. We did say we were going to make a notepad document to kind of keep tabs on feedback for ourselves for next season at certain circuits with regards to strategy or setup, and certainly it looks like a harder tyre allocation is the preference here this season with the AI, and maybe that might suit us better next season as well. All of it at this early stage is a learning experience. Right, we've all caught a train now that has Ollie Behrman at the front of it. Both RBs, and now myself, Antonelli and Stroll have rocked up at the back of it. I'm struggling to stick with Stroll and Antonelli. Bortoletto's in the pits again for the second time. Struggling to stick with Stroll and Antonetti, or was struggling to stick with Stroll and Antonelli when they had free air in front of them, just because I can't maintain much battery percentage. We're very rarely above 50%. It really is make or break.
Okay, so we're leading
for our competitiveness.
23.0 seconds.
But yes, we are faster than our teammate for sure, proving that yes, we do have a number 1 driver at the team and a number 2 driver. I don't know how you guys are going to do it with your teammates. Are you going to drive as one race and the other race, or are you going to pick a number 1 driver and just stick with that one guy for the majority of the time? I'm leaning towards doing that myself, but there will be moments where we race as the second driver. It will be more intriguing, actually, to be fair, when we have upgrades on the way. And if there's one car that has an upgrade compared to one car that doesn't, then obviously you're going to prefer to race as the car that has the upgrade. Behrman and Hajar going side by side here at the minute, and there's a bit of a battle ensuing. But so far, Ollie Behrman is able to hold position, but this is definitely a train that is losing race time hand over fist at the minute. Not that really we're in any sort of chance of getting into the points. As you can see from the minimap, there's a long way to go until the points paying positions.
Strong, but be aware, these tyres need to go the distance.
But my teammate is not far away from getting lapped now. Max Verstappen is honing in on him. And I dare say, I imagine we will get lapped as well before the end of the race. This is the halfway distance lap. Once it's completed, we're halfway home.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag's in front. Not sure what for. There's a Williams, or is it an Alpine somewhere? It's an Alpine, I think. I think it's Gasly.
Come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
It's Doohan. Doohan's engine's gone pop. That's another free position. Up to P17. 2 retirements from the race now. Carlos Sainz and Jack Doohan. Going to lose the position to Bortoleto here. He's got fresh tyres. He's just too quick. And try and hang on to the back of him through the first sector, but he's so fast, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. And of course he gets a double helping of DRS down this part as well.
Gap to your teammate behind, 27.
Desperately trying to keep with him, but I think he's gone. By about 1 millisecond, I think I don't get DRS. I do get DRS, let's go! Right, battery. It's huge. That might have just brought us back into contention a little bit. Trying to cling on the back of Bortoleto to catch that group in front again. Albon on softs. Well, I mean, there was no room there. You've kind of forced me to give you the room there. And then you've not gone for it anyway. Bortoleto and Stroll struggling here. Losing the group in front. Don't do that, lads. Stroll defensive, Bortoleto looking around the outside. Oh, they're so slow on the apex. Bortoleto is through. Bortoleto makes the pass. I thought about maybe trying to sneak past him as well. In actual fact, I might end up losing a position to Albon. I've left racing room for him because he's on the soft tyre. He's just going to have the traction to just zoom away. Well, we're down to P18 then. Hulkenberg is arriving behind. I thought I might have ended up making a position there.
0.4 seconds.
I've actually ended up losing one. Alonso's just boxed behind us for a brand new set of fresh tyres. Hards this time. So we're now 17th. Again. As soon as he loses DRS, if he loses DRS, or as soon as we get back up behind the whole train, which looks like it is going to happen here. If I could stop getting attacked from behind, I stand a chance of actually trying to overtake Lance Stroll, which is my plan. I just can't get close enough to him at the minute. DRS again though. But Alonso's going to take me. He's just going to be too fast in a straight line. I can't fight it. I need to save my battery. So I'm just going to have to let Alonso go. It is not in my best longer-term race interest to battle Fernando here. I just need to let him pass, losing as little time as possible to catch up with the group in front. Tyres are 32 on the left, both tyres. 17 and 23 on the right, front to rear. So it's definitely a lot more difficult on the left-hand side of the car. Because of the clockwise nature of the circuit. I'm sure I had DRS through that segment. I'm sure I did. I had to go a long way on the last set of mediums. This is where actually having 2 sets of hards would have been much more favourable. Unless they all Constantine are up again, I think we are losing the group in front here. It's been a steep learning curve on race day 1 of this 2025 season. We are learning a lot along the way, and we'll put those learnings into action in future races and in future seasons. But we are going to dip into the pits here and try and undercut a number of those in front of us and see if it works. It looks like Liam Lawson has the same idea because he's in the box as well. Now, don't bodge my pit stop this time, gents, please. Thank you. That was much better, wasn't it? And we're off again. Do have DRS on the back of Lance. Well, the RB's kept going, okay. That's Kimi Antonelli out of the pits. Parking it right on the apex, but we've managed to get around the outside of him just.
Brilliant, nice.
But it's cost us because he was right there on the apex, we couldn't maximise the corner. It's cost us DRS range to Lance Stroll. That is as unlucky as we could possibly get at this stage of the Grand Prix. It's been a real tough debut entrance into the sport. My teammate is lapped by a number of cars and a long way down. The car is not good. We know the journey we have in front of us. We know the challenge we currently face. So we're not going to get too carried away with tweaking difficulty, etc. But I am going to try and factor in the whole trying to make entertaining content at the same time as managing a bit of realism. So we do want to make sure that we are at least doing some fighting in some parts of some races. Otherwise, it will end up like a practice session every Grand Prix, which is obviously what we don't want. Should have DRS here. Hadjar and Stroll battling hard. Stroll looks like he's going to get the move done around the outside here. Hell of a piece of driving from Lance Stroll, just as we saw in Monaco this past weekend IRL. They might even be 3 wide into turn 1 here as Antonelli tries to maybe take both of them. Gets himself well out of position. That's going to bring us back into consideration now. Bortoletto boxes again. Get off that bloody wall, Ches. Bortoletto boxes again, so we're back up to 17th, which seems to be our default position this Grand Prix weekend, doesn't it? At least certainly in the race. Big snap of oversteer from Hadjar there. Huge.
Okay, Zane's coming in for his stop now.
Oh God, he hasn't pit yet. He's that far behind and he's still got another pit stop to do. Jeez Louise. Maloney is absolutely dead. But that just shows where the car currently is. I should probably be somewhere between Hulkenberg and Maloney. But trying to make entertaining content, not just doing 58 laps on my own, means that we do have the difficulty slightly lower. I do want to be challenging for a P15, P15 or P16 in a race rather than just sitting in 21st for an hour and a half. So hopefully you guys can allow me that. There's still obviously a lot of room for improvement, so we should still very much have a Road to Glory style journey from here. Antonelli now past Hadjar as well. We'll probably qualify at 102 and race at 101 in China, I think. And that might be, for the time being, the sweet spot. Hadjar thought about it. Didn't quite work for him. Stay off that bloody wall, Ches! My God. Never have I had more of a close relationship with a single piece of advertising hoarding in my life. I'm tempted, but Hadjar's going to be tempted too. We know they're slow into here. That is P16 off Isaac Hadjar. I might have been out of DRS range on Antonelli there though. I was. That's annoying. It's just going to be Hadjar straight back past me. And Antonelli gone. Bugger. Yeah, you're right. I'm judging the gameplay based off driving an absolutely dirt box car. So you do have to take all of my gameplay impressions with a pinch of salt at the moment. And understand the situation in which that they're being made. I need drag reduction. I need weight off the car. Not weight redistribution. I need weight reduction. I need drag reduction. And I need a better ERS system. And then we'll be more competitive in a straight line. When we're more competitive in a straight line, we'll be able to up the difficulty higher than where we currently are. For sure. I've no doubts about that whatsoever. Because aero-wise, in the corners, we're there or thereabouts already. Verstappen is about 4.5 seconds behind at the minute. We are going to get lapped today. So that gives me one less lap to try and get past Hadjar. And it's going to disrupt our attempts to try and get past him as well. If I can time it right, we could maybe try and make an overtake attempt just as Max is arriving and blue flags are being contemplated about being thrown. Hopefully he catches Hadjar in an awkward position for Hadjar and catches me at a beneficial place for me. And we lose as little time as possible. That might be a way for us to try and maintain or get and then maintain P16 at the minute. I'm going to have to go for a lunge. I don't like that at all. That is not a very good overtake, Ches. Or even close to it. But we've had to deal with a lot of struggles in this Grand Prix. I should give that place back. But quite frankly, he'll just take it back for himself, so I don't have to. Now here comes Max. Oh, it's telling me to cede position. If I do, this will be our last lap. Oh no, Max! I could have had a go at Hajar again into the same corner we made the overtake this time. Go on then. Oh, just overtake me, you moron. Don't hover.
Blue flag, blue flag.
I know, blue flag, blue flag. He needs to be aggressive. Just go for it. Go on, it's a blue flag situation. Go. Thank you, Max. Right, we should be close enough to Max to have DRS off him to maybe have a go at Hajar, potentially.
And gap to the car in front, 1.6 seconds.
Oh, please. Please let him catch Hajar at an inopportune moment for the Frenchman. Hajar's letting him through here. It's going to be now or never. This is going to be our last lap because Max has taken us. It's just as Hail Mary as last lap, only this time it's legal. Oh! Lost the rear end there a little bit. It's going to be a straight up run to the line. He's going to have DRS. Sorry, he's going to have ERS. No, he's going to have DRS. I've got my ERS, but it's about to run out. Oh, I think we just did it. I think we just did it.
Race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
P16. P16. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Max certainly helped there. Alex Albon, driver of the day, which is an intriguing one. He was quite quick on the soft tyres. I wonder if he was able to make some positions. I didn't see where Alex qualified, actually. I thought he qualified quite well. Obviously, new camera angles for the podium scenes, since they've used a variety of different data points from real life and real life cameramen to build up kind of realistic motions of what the camera is doing. I don't know whether it's there as well. It looked like it in the garage. As they walk out here onto the podium, we'll be able to see exactly what those camera angles look like. And it's Max on pole, and here you go. Look, yeah, Max on pole, Oscar P2, and Charles on the podium in the Ferrari P3.
It's another podium. It's another top step for Max Verstappen.
I'm sure it's going to be a long, hard championship for everybody at the front. That was a long, hard Grand Prix for us. But after starting P16 or 17,
be sure to join us for
after starting P16, we finished
very soon.
P16. I think I will qualify at 102 in China, and we will race at 101. Because let's be honest, that straight line speed from them there, I don't stand a chance in the DRS zones at China at all, do I? So I need to do something to at least make the content entertaining, and hopefully dropping the race difficulty down to 101 from 102 will be able to do that. We'll have a couple of upgrades on the car as well. Certainly the front wing will be changed. Victor Martins and Zane Maloney both picking up £50,000 of damage allowance that wasn't spent. So we gain an extra 100 grand on our projected finances. Fan sentiment is going up, which is good. Obviously, as I continue to improve as a team owner, then everything about the team as a whole will continue to improve as well. Be nice if the graphic there actually reflected the way that our team graphics look. That's what the default is. Just a side note. We will tend to do, I think, moving forward, this stuff at the end of episodes. So at the beginning of episodes, the beginning of videos, we go straight into the on-track action, I think is the plan. So this is going to be a big bumper episode 1, but certainly moving forward, we'll try and streamline all of this as best we can. A disappointing weekend. I mean, it wasn't that disappointing, I don't think. Overall, we have discovered a lot about the car, and we think we know what's available for us moving forward. I want to do powertrain. Engine power is all I have the opportunity to do on that side. I want ERS. I'm going to do the engine power, because of course I am. We need some more engine power. I can't do spark plugs as well. That chassis done. I want weight reduction. That's in the process of being done, so I can't do anything else on that front. We can do some rear downforce, some front downforce. Drag reduction is locked at the moment. That's the next big one for us. We'll do rear downforce then for 396 resource points. We've got quite a few here actually. Resource points look like they're pretty good for us at the minute. So we'll go for gearbox upgrades as well. Why not? I don't see anything worth saving for at this moment in time. So we've got something being researched at the moment in all areas. Development-wise, we've got 3 days remaining on the front wing adjustment. The chassis has been completed. The upgrade is done. So we can develop the plank. And that will take 9 days. We can do that there. Yes, thank you very much. Okay. Can't do anything on the powertrain. Aerodynamics is currently in the processes of being done. I do have an upgrade to assign, though. My weight redistribution plank I can assign, and I will equip it. As we said, we have a number 1 driver. I will equip it to Martins. So Martins will have a objectively better car, or an objectively better car, as we progress towards the next Grand Prix. So in China, he will be, in theory, able to go faster than Zane. We think we're faster than Zane anyway. An engineering facility issue again. It's actually the result of our previous engineering point, which was to give Martins the opportunity to get in the simulator, which has improved his focus. But actually, if I'm driving as him, his focus doesn't really matter. That's related to his AI ability. So perhaps, actually, in those situations, I prioritise the driver that I'm not driving with to make us stronger as a team.
Hey, Chief.
More of a learning curve here.
Ready for development because they finished.
I love the fact he calls me Chief.
Let's get that in motion, shall we?
Makes my ego
Head to
fly.
for more info.
Development-wise, that has passed. We can develop one more of those as well. So we're going to have one of those to go on the car. And again, that's going to go on Martins' car at this stage. Equipped to Martins. So Martins has 6 parts equipped here, as opposed to just the 4 parts for my teammate Zane. Sprint weekend here in China as well, so it's going to be an even bumper bigger one there. China, I feel like I should go for the harder allocation at China, because it's quite the harder option. I am going to go harder tyre allocation for China, I think. I'm sure. We'll go harder allocation for China. Right, well, that will do us for this one. In fact, let's go to the Chinese race weekend and just see what the weather is going to be like. Because we're going to be very weather dependent as to how competitive we are, because I've never been any good in the rain. So keep your fingers crossed in China we don't get a tsunami. It's dry for most sessions. There is to be some rain at the very end of the sprint, as you see above me. So that's manageable. That's not a problem. We can deal with that. And an upgrade package for Martins' race, or Martins' car, means that hopefully we'll be a bit more competitive there. We will, as we say. Actually, we're going to qualify at 102, so I'll leave it at 102 for now, and then we'll race in the sprint and in the main race at 101 and see how that looks. But hopefully you guys have very much enjoyed this first episode of the My Team on F1 25. We will have more to you tomorrow, as well as the plan, and every weekday moving forward as long as we possibly can. That's all for this episode though. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.